Hi, and welcome to Anne's Family Recipe. Today I'm sharing with you all of the easy party foods I made for my son Benjamin's 3rd birthday. Whenever I'm entertaining, I'd like to choose recipes that I can make ahead of time. Plus, I'll take a little help from my grocery store too, because that makes being a hostess much less stressful. The first recipe that I prepared the day before the party was a pumpkin fluff dip. So this required a cup of pumpkin puree, a package of instant vanilla pudding, 1 8-ounce container of whipped topping that I had thawed, and a teaspoon of pumpkin pie spice. And I'll leave a video link down below where I share a recipe for my homemade pumpkin pie spice. This dip could not be any easier. You just put everything into a mixing bowl and whisk it together to combine. And there you have your super light and creamy pumpkin fluff dip. And I stored this in the fridge in an airtight container until the party. Next, I prepared a Bacon Cheddar Ranch Dip. So this included 2 cups of finely shredded sharp cheddar, a package of ranch seasoning, a brick of softened cream cheese, a cup of sour cream, 6 green onions that I chopped up, and this was my little addition to the recipe. It wasn't in the original, but I thought it would add good onion flavor, and then 6 slices of bacon. So I started by cooking up my bacon till it was nice and kind of chewy crisp, and it smelled amazing. Then I washed off my green onions and dried them thoroughly. And then in a large mixing bowl, I added my very soft cream cheese with a cup of sour cream. Then I sprinkled in the packet of ranch seasoning, and if you don't have this on hand, you can make your own mixture of garlic powder, onion powder, dried dill, dried parsley, and a little bit of salt and pepper, and it'll taste very similar. Then I used the 2 cups of finely shredded sharp cheddar cheese, and I stirred it all together. Then with my kitchen scissors, I chopped all the green onions right into the bowl. And I did the same with the bacon. And in fact, the bacon was crispy enough that I could just crumble it with my fingers too. But you just want it in nice little pieces so it's evenly distributed throughout the whole dip. You definitely want to make this dip ahead of time. Once you stir it all together and then store it in the fridge in an airtight container overnight, all the flavors have time to kind of marry together and it just tastes incredible. This was my family's absolute favorite thing that I made for Ben's birthday party. Everybody was asking me for the recipe, so here it is. This Bacon Cheddar Ranch Dip was so easy to whip together, and I served mine just with buttery Ritz crackers, the perfect combination. On the day of Ben's party, I also prepared a couple of trays of baked ham and cheese sandwiches. These sandwiches are so delicious, you have to give them a try the next time you have a party. Now I've also made a French dip version of these sandwiches with like roast beef and provolone cheese and an au jus dipping sauce. Also amazing. I will link that recipe video down below. You can see I'm doing a slider kind of sandwich with these smaller Hawaiian rolls. So I used 3 packages and divided them between my 2 baking trays, which you saw earlier that I sprayed with baking spray just so that nothing sticks, although they got a little crispy on the bottom, so they were kind of hard to get out of the pan. But in the end, everything worked out just fine. So I topped the sandwiches with lots of thinly sliced honey ham and Swiss cheese. And you can see here, this is where I switched to my second package of Swiss cheese, and there were no holes in it. I was cracking up as I was making these sandwiches, and I was like smelling the cheese to see if, oh, maybe it was just white American, but it was definitely Swiss. Oh, there at the end, there was one singular hole in the middle of the last 4 slices. And then I topped them off with the lids of the Hawaiian buns. And you can customize the inside of these sandwiches too with any kinds of meats and cheeses that you want. You could also spread a thin layer of mayonnaise or mustard on the inside of the bread. But you absolutely want to top them with this incredible sauce. So since I doubled the recipe, I started with 2 sticks of unsalted butter that I melted down. And then to this, I'm gonna add 2 tablespoons of poppy seeds. So this adds an awesome color and also kind of this pop when you bite into the sandwiches, this little bit of a crunch. Also, 4 teaspoons of minced dried onion and 4 teaspoons of Worcestershire sauce. And then lastly, I added in 2 tablespoons of Dijon mustard, which my bottle was at the very, very end, so I was kind of struggling to get those 2 full tablespoons, but it still had great flavor. And I just mixed it all together. I started with my measuring spoon here, you can see, but then I actually grabbed a fork because you really want to incorporate this well. The minced onion and the poppy seeds will kind of settle at the bottom. So you can see here I'm pouring out all the buttery mixture. And then on my second pan, it is mostly minced onion and poppy seeds. So I kind of had to spoon some of that thicker part of the mixture back onto the first tray of sandwiches. But both trays came out very tasty. So I covered both trays with aluminum foil, and then they went into a 350-degree oven for about, I would say, like 18 to 20 minutes, and then I removed the foil and just baked them for a couple minutes longer. But maybe after 15 minutes, if you want, you can check them, because of course you don't want to burn them, but you do want the cheese to get nice and melty, and then you take the foil off and cook it for a couple extra minutes so that the tops get a little bit golden and crispy. These sandwiches are just packed with flavor. They were my favorite thing that I made for the party. And I forgot to mention earlier that this recipe comes from my sister Kate. So here's just a little footage of the final spread. I had some leftover candy corn from when I made Butterfingers, which is a video I will link for you down below. They were incredible. And I found these little ghost and bat potato chips at Trader Joe's. My husband drew this picture of a friendly witch so we could play Pin the Wart on the Witch, which was a hit. And then my daughter Emma helped me draw little jack-o'-lantern faces on these clear plastic bags, and we filled them with Cheez-It crackers. So that was a little favor for all the party guests. Then I had lots of different colorful veggies with store-bought hummus and salsa and guacamole. And then there's my Bacon Cheddar Ranch Dip, which again I serve cold, but you could try serving it warm too. Both would be amazing. Then I bought blue corn and pumpkin tortilla chips. And then there was my Pumpkin Fluff Dip, which I serve with ginger snap cookies, vanilla wafers, and I also served it with green apple slices. I just hadn't put them out yet when I filmed this. And then the kids played freeze dance to some Halloween music. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel and give this video a thumbs up if you liked what you saw. Thanks so much for joining me today in my kitchen, and I'll see you again soon with more family recipes. Happy Halloween!